my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today we've got ourselves another lovely lacy stitch. This is the Perky Shells stitch. It's really easy, works up fast. It's just a 4-row repeat, and I love it. As per usual, I am using the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre because it's a current favorite of mine. Hashtag not sponsored. And as you can see, the color gradient is just gorgeous. Now I made a scarf, a nice wide scarf. However, you can, of course, make this as wide or as narrow as you want to, whether it's for a wrap, a blanket, what have you. Even though it is lacy, I think it would be substantial enough for a lightweight blanket. And for today's swatch, I used a 6mm size J crochet hook. Today also we are going to be using some Red Heart Super Saver just in the normal non-color changing variety. I believe it's the taupe or the buff. Got it right here. You know, it's tan. So yeah, I'm going to show you the multiples so that you can make this as wide or as narrow as you want to, and you can go crazy from there. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so first things first, you're going to need your base chain, of course. So for this particular stitch, you're going to need a multiple of 10 chains plus an additional 2 chains. So for today's swatch, I have 32 chains. So I've got 3 multiples of 10 plus my additional 2. So I've got 32. Now, I always suggest when trying out a new stitch, do a swatch first. That way, if you want to make a really large piece, you can get an idea of, okay, how many multiples you would need in order to obtain the size project that you're going for, as opposed to chaining a couple hundred chains and realizing, oh, it's too big or it's too small, etc. So we have 32. Make up your multiples of 10 plus an additional 2, and I will meet back up with you. Alrighty. Alright, so row 1 is the only row that is sort of different, and then the following 4 rows are the repeat. But of course, I'm going to do a repeat of the repeat with you guys because I like to be thorough. So first things first, into the second chain from the hook, we need a single crochet. And single crochet into the next chain as well. There we are. Chain 3. Skip the next 2 chains, and then into the third chain, double crochet. Chain 1. Skip a chain and double crochet into the next. Okay, chain 3. Skipping 2 chains into the third chain, single crochet. Chain 1. Skip a chain, single crochet into the next. So we have sort of highs and lows going on here. Chain 3. Skip 2 chains into the third chain, double crochet. Chain 1. Skip a chain, double crochet into the next. Chain 3. Skip 2 chains, single crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip a chain, single crochet into the next. Chain 3, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip a chain, double crochet into the next. Chain 3. And at this point, I've got 4 chains left. So skipping 2 chains into the 3rd and 4th, those last 2 chains, single crochet, because we are going for symmetry here. We started with 2 single crochets and we're finishing with 2. There you go. So, like I said before, we have sort of peaks and valleys going on. Now, in spite of this, this is not going to create a ripple or a chevron type of blanket, because the subsequent rows are going to fill in those gaps, those valleys, and create new peaks, etc., etc. And we're also not increasing or decreasing. So in spite of the current appearances, no, it's not going to create any sort of ripple. However, we shall proceed and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's press on. Row 2. So to begin with, we're going to start with a chaining up of 2 for our first double crochet. Now, some people, they like to chain up 3. If that is what you prefer, by all means, go right ahead. Personally, I find that chaining up 2 gives us the height, but not the wavy, weird bulk on the edge. So chain 2, turn the work, skipping this first single crochet, going into that next single crochet, with a double. So we chained up 2 and then skip and double into that second single. So we've got 2 double crochets. From here, chain 3 and single into the chain 1 space, chain 3, and then into this next single chain space over here, double crochet, chain 1 into the same space, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into that same space. We're sort of creating like a bit of a fan here, separated by chain 1 spaces. From here, chain 3 into the chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3, and then into that next chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, into that next chain 1 space, single crochet, and we have reached the end of the row. So from here, chain 3, and double crochet into each of the single crochets from the previous row. And there you go. That is the end of row 2. So like I said, we're sort of filling in the gaps that we had on the previous row and shrinking down the peaks so that it sort of evens itself out. All right, onwards to row 3. Row 3. Going to start again with a chaining up of 2 for a double crochet. So 1 and 2, turn the work. Skipping this first stitch, going into the second with a double crochet. So I got our 2 doubles, chain 3, now into this chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet into the next chain 3 space. So we're creating a new chain 1 space. From here, chain 3, into the first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 3, into the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, double into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, single into the chain 3 space, chain 1, single into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and double crochet into these last 2 doubles. The first one is easier. The second one, a little bit more fiddly, but it is worth it. So it's basically the second chain from the bottom, 1 and 2, right into here. And if you make your chains just a little bit on the loose side, it does make the process easier. And there we go. So that's the end of row 3. So as you can see right now, we have peaks again and valleys, and we're going to sort of swap out the peaks with the valleys over the next 2 rows. So let's get to it. Row 4. Okay, so the last 2 rows we started with double crochets. The next 2 rows, it's going to be starting with single crochets. So chain up 1 and turn the work into these first 2 stitches, single crochet into each one, chain 3, and then into this chain 1 space right there. Going to create a new fan, so double crochet, chain 1, double in the same space, chain 1, and double in the same space, chain 3, into this chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3, into this chain 1 space. It can be a little bit tricky to see if it's a little too tight, but into this chain 1 space, a new fan, so it's double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, single into the chain 1 space, chain 3, into this chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, and then into the last 2 double crochets, do a single in each. So single in the first, and then single in the next. Again, yes, I know it can be a little bit fiddly, but I think it's worth it. I do. There we go. So that's the end of row 4. Now, as you can see, after finishing row 4, we really don't have any peaks or valleys. So the pronunciation, the pronouncement, the the way that the peaks and the valleys are pronounced, it's only every other row. So on, I believe it's rows 2 and 4, you get rid of the pronouncing peaks, and it's on rows 3 and 5 that you create those peaks. So I would say, you can play around with which row you want to end on, but I would say end on an even row. But at any rate, enough of my yammer-yammering. Let's go on to the final row, row 5, and then we'll do our repeat. So let's get to it. Row 5. Now again, I stress this. So we had 2 rows here of the doubles, and we have 1 row of singles. We need another row of singles. So that is actually how I remembered how to go about doing the pattern. So chain up 1, turn the work, and single crochet into the first 2 stitches. So as far as starting and finishing the rows, it's 2 rows of double, 2 rows of single. Then it's 2 rows of double, 2 rows of single, back, forth, and it is only a 4-row repeat. So it's not that difficult, but whatever little tricks I can give you to help you remember how to do this, hey, I'm all for sharing. So we did our 2 singles, chain 3, and then into the first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space. See, right now we're creating a peak here. We're going up at an angle. Chain 3, and into the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, into the chain 1 space, that first one, double, chain 1, and double into the next chain 1 space to create another peak. Chain 3, single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and we have reached the end. So it's going to be 2 single crochets, 1 in each of these last stitches. So single crochet and single crochet. My tongue gets a little tied and knotted. All right, so yeah, again, as you can see, we have these sort of peaks and valleys. So the next row is going to nullify that, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we are going to do a full repeat of the next 4 rows, and let's be on our way. Alrighty. Okay, so row 2 for the repeat. See down here, it's easier to see the double crochets. So we've got double, double, then single, single. So we need double, double. So start by chaining up 2. Turn the work. And double crochet into the second stitch. Not this first one, but the next one. Double crochet. Chain 3. And single crochet into the chain 1 space. Chain 3. And into this chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, single into the chain 1 space, chain 3, into the chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double. There we are. Chain 3, single crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 3, and then double crochet into each of the last 2 stitches. Okie dokie. So as I said before, this is the end of row 2. So if you end on an even row, you have an even edge. All right, so let's move on to row 3. Row 3 for the repeat. Start by chaining up 2. Turn the work. And double crochet into this second stitch. Chain 3. Into the chain 3 space. Single crochet. Chain 1. And single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3. Into the first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 1, single into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, pull out some more yarn as needs be. Okay, into the first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, into the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and into these last 2 stitches, double crochet into each. And the last one is always the most fiddly, but we can do this. Just got to show it who's boss. And there we are. That is the end of row 3 for the repeat. So it's an odd row and we have an odd edge. So let's do the next 2 rows together. Row 4 for the repeat. So we have 2 rows of double, so we need to start with our singles. So chain up 1, turn the work, single crochet into these first 2 stitches, chain 3, into this chain 1 space, double, chain 1, and double in that same space, chain 1, and double again to create our little fan. Chain 3, single crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 3, into the next chain 1 space, double, chain 1, and double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, single into the chain 1 space, chain 3, into that chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double, chain 3, and then into the last 2 double crochets, single crochet into each. There we are. So we've got 1, and we just need to get into that last one there. There we go. Not too bad. All right. So again, at the end of row 4, we have a nice clean edge at the top. But with row 5, yeah, we're going to kind of muss that up a little bit. But of course, you can make this piece as long as you want to, and then just end on an even row, either 2 or 4. That's just my personal preference for you guys. So let's finish off the repeat with row 5. All right, so last but certainly not least, row 5 for the repeat. We did one of our single crochet rows, so we need to do another one. So chain up 1, turn the work, and single crochet into the first 2 stitches. There we are. Chain 3 into that first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and then into the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, into that first chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, into the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, double into the next chain 1 space, chain 3, and we've reached the end. So single crochet into the last 2 stitches, and there you go. That's the end of row 5 for the repeat. Now, yes, I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. We have sort of a weird and wonky edge as far as peaks and valleys, so you would want to do at least one more row in order to straighten things out. But yeah, you can just keep going and going and going. It's a fabulous thing. Alrighty, my dears, so that concludes today's tutorial for the Perky Shells stitch. I really hope you liked it, and if you did, please give a little thumbs up button down below, because you know that I appreciate your appreciation. Also, of course, let me know what you think you might like to do with this stitch. Tell me in the comments section down below what sort of project you think you would make with this. Honestly, I think that whether it's a scarf or a wrap or a lightweight blanket, I think it's just plain awesome. Very versatile, especially for the seasons that are in the middle, whether it's, spring or fall. I think that this is absolutely gorgeous. And what sort of colors you might use, let me know. And of course, subscribe for more, because I do post often, whether it's crocheting or knitting or audiobook narrations or a little bit of cooking in the kitchen. And of course, my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, where I do video game playthrough and commentary. Would love to see you there. So until next time, you know what to do. I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Have a good day, everybody, and bye for now.